Hey, welcome back to Card Magic Journey. My name is Joe, and hey, if you're new to Card Magic or you're just learning the basics of sleight of hand, this is the channel for you. Today, what we're going to do is we're going to learn one of the first and most essential techniques in your magic toolbox, if you will, and that's called the Overhand Shuffle. And it's a powerful move that really lays the groundwork for controlling cards, false shuffles, even full-blown tricks. So stick with me because we're going to cover the how and the why and even answer a few beginner questions that you might be thinking of already. Okay, let's start with the basics for the overhand shuffle. And what we're going to do is we're going to hold the deck in our dominant hand for most magicians. And we're going to be putting, this is our end grip here. And we're going to take the deck, we're going to put it into our other hand into the mechanic's grip. So we're going to keep that index finger in front. We have our pinky behind here. Thumb can be either on top or on the side here, but we're going to place it on the top as we go. And all we're going to do is we're going to take our dominant hand, we're going to pull out the back half of the cards here, and we're just going to pull it in. The thumb will pull off the cards here, and I'm just doing it slow here to start with and just show you the basics. So all we're doing is, if you watch, this hand is not moving. All the movement is going to be on the right hand side. So we square the deck up, come in, and shuffle. Okay, square up, come in, pull cards off, and square the deck after every time. So all I'm doing is my hand pulls whatever cards you want out. We're just doing half the deck approximately now. And my other thumb is, my non-dominant hand is waiting to pull those cards off. And all it does is just sets right down. Okay, keep the index finger in front, card off, okay? And all we're doing is when we do this, make sure that you're not doing it more than 5 or 6 times. 5 to 6 times is about average. And as you get going, it's going to get a little bit faster. So as you get going, you get more comfortable, you get a rhythm going. So see how there is a rhythm, and the movement is all on the right hand. So as we get going, it's just going to be shuffling. And as we get through the series, we're going to do different sleight of hands based off of this. That'll actually, we can actually work into this. And we'll show you one of those things that you can do in the next video here. Okay, and again, I'm new, so that type of stuff is going to happen. So just set it back in and run it through again and do the overhand shuffle. So that's the overhand shuffle. And trust me, this move has layers. In the future, we're going to have videos that come out that we're going to talk about how to control a specific card by using that overhand shuffle, like keeping the card on top or moving it to a desired location somewhere in the deck without your audience knowing. If your shuffle feels kind of clunky, or if it feels uneven, don't worry about that. Hey, that's the name of the game. That's normal at first. But here's a few tips that we can go through, and this will help you, get a more even, more rhythmic shuffle. Number 1, keep the deck square with your fingers. So again, we use that mechanic's grip to start off on our non-dominant hand, keeping them square. And then after every overhand shuffle, make sure you re-square that deck so that way everything works out for you. Number 2, try to move slowly and consistently at first so you can develop a rhythm. As you get better at doing the overhand shuffle, you're going to be making that more of a rhythmic type of action, and it will look a lot better, it'll present a lot better, and you'll be able to perform your sleight of hand techniques better once that becomes rhythmic and smooth and consistent. Number 3, make sure that you keep your hands relaxed so that way the movement looks natural and it feels relaxed for you. And remember that the smoother it looks, the more convincing it's going to be to those people watching you, even when you're not actually mixing the cards up. So, making that smooth and rhythmic is going to help your presentation so much. Now, you might be wondering when we would use that overhand shuffle instead of other shuffles like, say, the riffle shuffle, which we'll learn later, or the Hindu shuffle, which we'll learn later. But that's a great question. Just remember that the overhand shuffle is a perfect shuffle for casual settings, or basically whenever you want your actions to look ordinary. It's also less flashy, which can make it more deceptive, if you will. We definitely will break down the riffle shuffle and the Hindu shuffle in later videos, and that's a lot later in the series here, and other, different techniques in different videos. But for now, we're mastering this one, so that way it's going to give you a solid foundation to build from. Another great question that you might have is, what card trick or technique should we learn next, after the overhand shuffle? And I've got you covered there, so don't worry. In our next video, we're going to learn how to run the cards, which is a move that builds directly off of this overhand shuffle. And it's the next building block to future techniques and tricks. And it's simple, it's visual, and it's a great introduction to card control and then false shuffling. But before we move on, let's talk about practice. Your goal for the overhand shuffle is to practice at least 10 times per session. You want to try to get in at least 1 to 3 short practice sessions each day, even if, like I said, they're short. And remember, this repetition is going to build muscle memory. It's going to build confidence, in the overhand shuffle and how you're doing it. And make sure that you have a firm grasp of the basics before you move on to the next video. Get it down so when you're doing the overhead shuffle, you're doing it without looking at the cards, because there's going to be times when you psychologically want to direct the focus to the cards for the audience you'd be looking at, but majority of times you'd be looking at the audience, looking at the reactions, trying to get your attention off of those cards so the sleight of hand later on will become easier and it'll become more magical for the audience because they don't see it happening. So getting it down smooth is going to set you up for that future success. So that way when we get to some of the more advanced techniques like controlling the deck or doing false shuffling, it's going to be more convincing for the audience in that. So that's the overhand shuffle, which is obviously one of the first big steps here in our card magic journey. If you have questions that I didn't cover here in this video, make sure that you drop them in the comments below. And remember, I respond to every single comment that's put out there. And also, don't forget to subscribe for new videos that come out every Sunday and Thursday, so that way you don't miss out. Hit that bell notification and that. But until next time, my name is Joe. This is my card magic journey. Let's make it yours too.